Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Rada. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to get you guys to help me fix the RX-7. So the data on this car is very scuffed, and there's a reason for that. It's because I haven't data swapped it yet to the correct data that I want on the car. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to data swap a car. So if you guys don't know what data swapping is, it is basically taking the way a car feels that you like driving. Say you like driving WDTS. If you want to make a Camaro feel like WDTS, you can. So just follow the method that I'm going to show you guys on screen. It's going to be super simple, super easy, and you guys should be able to get it down pretty quickly. But today we're going to be physics swapping my RX-7. This car's got quite a few bugs, and it's because I haven't physics swapped it yet. And there's a couple of things that I need to do with the data to just make it that a little bit better. So we're going to be doing that today. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want more tutorials like this on anything, just let me know. We'll get those done for you guys. So yeah, enjoy today's content. Okay, so first off, you want to find a car that you really enjoy driving. For me at the moment, I've really been enjoying the new DWG pack. They just released a brand new RX-7, and this thing drives really nice. So we're going to be using this on the RX-7 that I've made. So what you want to do is you want to go and unpack the data from the car. Then you want to go into the folder. You want to copy the data. This is what I do. I copy the data folder for this. I go back onto my desktop and I create a brand new folder. You can just leave it as new folder. For today's video, we're going to have it dragged up on here. And then you're going to go ahead and paste the data folder in there. What I do is I rename it. So I'll rename this RX-7 DWG. Then what you want to go ahead and do is open up that folder. Now you're going to see a whole bunch of like config files, LUT files, and all that type of stuff in here. So what you're going to want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to hold control down on your keyboard. Click on suspensions, sounds, setup, mirrors, ludes, lights, flames, flame presets. Oh shit. Driver 3D, digital instruments, colliders, cars, cameras, blurred objects, analog instruments, ambient shadows. You want to go ahead and you want to right click on your mouse. You want to go cut. You want to create a brand new folder. Just leave it as new folder. You're going to paste those up in here. What this is going to do is it's going to delete this from your previous folder. So it's going to delete all those files that we just selected and put them into the new folder. You want to hit Control A on your keyboard, which will select all. And you just want to hold control and click on car and suspensions. You're going to delete all the other files in there. You want to open the car config and you want to go ahead and you want to delete all of this stuff so that the only things you guys see is the total mass, which will be whatever the mass of the car is, and the inertia values of the car that you do enjoy driving. You want to delete all the graphics and then you want to save that folder there. So the only thing you have is the total mass and inertias. And then you have the controls and pretty much all the way to the end of the file. Then you want to open up your suspensions folder and you want to keep everything from underneath ARB. So what you want to do is you just want to click above ARB, drag up, delete. That's it. Then save that file as well. So then you're going to want to go ahead and grab the car that you're going to be putting that physics type onto. So you're going to go and unpack your data from the car that you're using. Click on folder. Again, we're going to copy that data folder. Make sure there's no data ACD file in here. I'll try to get an example of one real quick, actually. All right, so see how in this folder we have a data ACD folder? Basically, that is like the store or bank for every data file that we have inside of the cars and the KM5s. You want to go ahead and unpack a data folder and then delete the ACD. That is very important. Do not delete the data ACD before you go ahead and unpack, okay? So yeah, make sure we've copied the data folder from the car that we're using. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to paste it over in here. And then what I do again is we rename it. So RX-7 use, because it's the one that we're going to use. So we're going to go into here. We're going to hit Control A on our keyboard, which is going to select all the files in here. And we're basically just going to select everything that we deselected in the previous file. So while holding Control on the keyboard, you want to go ahead and you want to deselect suspensions, sounds, mirror, ludes, lights, flames, flame presets, driver 3D, digital instruments. So some cars won't have digital instruments, but if they do, then obviously select them. Collider, car, cameras, blurred objects, analog instruments, ambient shadows. Everything else in that file, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to delete it. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you want to go back. You want to go into the DWG file that we have. You want to select everything, deselect your new folder. You want to go ahead and you want to copy. Go back into your RX-7 and just paste everything and bam, you pretty much just physics swapped your whole car, okay? Congratulations. But there's a few things that you want to do just to make sure that the car is going to feel exactly the same. So what I do is I open up the car file and I drag it to one side, and I'll go ahead and I'll open up the suspensions files as well and drag it over to one side. I drag it onto this side so I know that it's the car that I've just freshly put the data onto. And then we're going to go back to our new folder, and then we're going to go into our new folder in our DWG car. We're going to open up the car folder, drag it to the right side, open up suspensions and drag it to the right side as well. Minimize this, and let's do the car first. So what we're going to do is, as you guys can see, this car folder here has a whole bunch of stuff in it. This is also where you like rename your car. So obviously it's not a Holden BZ Ute. It's the RX-7. Jesus. And then you want to go ahead and copy the total mass and inertias of the car folder over here and paste them into this car folder here. Then you want to go ahead and you want to copy the controls and do the same. Just drag over the controls all the way to the end and paste. And that's it. Then you're going to save that. You can exit out of this, exit out of this one. And now we've got the suspensions folder. So it's literally just the same thing. You're going to drag the ARB all the way to the end. And then you're going to go over to ARB over here, and you're just going to drag it all the way to the end as well. And then save it. So now that we've done that, your RX-7, well, obviously you're not going to have an RX-7, but now that you've done that, your data should be ready to use. So what I do is I go ahead and I rename this and just rename it data. We'll go into our car and open up the folder that we use for our car. And we're just going to rename the old data folder something else. So what I usually do is just put an _1 at the end of it. And I keep that data folder just in case I've done something wrong with this one. And I can just go back and change it. So once you've dragged that over, the data will all be sent over to that car, and you can just go ahead and reload it in Content Manager, and then you can check it out in Showroom. So there's one thing that you guys have to know when you guys are doing data swaps is aligning the car with the data over in the car parameters section will obviously obscure the data completely, and it'll make the car look extremely high off the ground. This can easily be fixed by changing all the suspension values in your data folder. So while the car is aligned, make sure you have the align using data tools checkbox enabled. And that also goes with, you can see all the suspension values, the collider values, the fuel tank where it's placed. If you want an easy way of moving the fuel tank, you just press T on your keyboard and you can just drag it up a little bit so that it's in the boot of your car, pretty much. And then you also got to click save to move points. This is also an easy way to change your flames. You can press T and just move your flames around. And then they'll move around in your data settings as well. You do have to change the size of your wheels, which is pretty simple to do. I mean, it's all done within the data folder, which I will show you guys now. So while the car is aligned, you're going to go ahead into your data folder and you're going to go onto your suspensions. This will bring up the same file that we had just a second ago. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the basey, which is the ride height of the car. So as you guys can see, if I just delete this minus, it will change the values completely, and press save, slam the car straight down. So you can go ahead and do that for the rear as well. Obviously, your guys' one will be different. And you may not have the same stuff as I do, and you will be able to change, like, obviously the values completely different. This is basically how you align your wheels to look as a stock ride height, okay? This is not used for the initial setup of the car. You can still do that in game and change your camber values and stuff like that. But I do most of it in here just to make the car look nice and stanced and presentable. So again, basey is the ride height. The track is the amount of width between the wheels. So if we go ahead and just take away this 0.6, as you guys can see, it slams the wheels all the way in. So we probably want like a 5.5 in this. Yep, perfect. This looks ugly, so I'm not a fan of this. We definitely need to change this right now. So as you guys can see, it goes the other way. So you go 0.7 maybe. Okay. Oh. A 0.17, too low, 0.14. Probably a little bit more presentable like that. We are going to adjust the track of our rear tires. So again, we'll probably just do a 5.5 to see how that looks. It looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that, how it looks there. Another thing to note is down the bottom, sometimes we have the graphic offsets. That is just the graphical adjustment of the wheels. You can change how the wheels feel and look just by those as well. But as you guys can see, the car's pretty well lined up now. I do want to change a little bit of the colliders and stuff like that, so we will go ahead and show you guys how to do that. Also, if you want to change the wheels, make sure you guys have the wheel option enabled. And if your wheels are both the same size, it will be a lot quicker. But you just go ahead, you jump into your wheels folder, or your tires folder, sorry. And you go ahead and you change the width and the radius and the rim radius. So the radius is the radius of the tire, which you guys can probably set to whatever looks best for your car. Obviously, every car is going to be different. So mine's about a 2.8. It's probably a little bit smaller than that, actually. Probably like a 2.75, probably. 2.75. Perfect. And then my rim radius is definitely a little bit bigger than what it's showing there. So it's probably about a 2.6. It's a little bit smaller than that. It's about a 2.5. Yep, perfect. Okay, so what I usually do is I go and make sure that the rim radius is the same, so the tire width is good. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to copy these three lines here: the width, the radius, and the rim. Oh my god, the width, the radius, and the rim radius. Copy. Go down to my rear and paste it just there. As you guys can see, when I save it, it changes that width on the back as well. One thing to note, if you have more than one tire compound, you're going to have to change the values for every single tire compound. But that's no biggie. That's pretty easy if you've got the same size rims on the front and back. Again, if you guys follow the steps correctly, you guys will have a banger car on your hands.